I have quite the unexpected connection for you. Dividend investing strategies can make you a fantasy football champion. Now, I know this because I'm coming off my first fantasy football championship in 6 years. So you'll want to stick around because this might change your game. Picture this, you're in a Dynasty fantasy league where you can keep your entire roster for the next season and you have a choice. Do you pick the exciting rookie who might be the next big thing, or trade for the older, reliable veteran who's been putting up solid numbers for years? You'd go for the rookie every single time if you're anything like I used to be. After all, who doesn't love those young players that are just dripping with potential, right? That strategy cost me championships, and it might cost you too. So it hit me to take a new approach. Why don't I play Dynasty Fantasy Football like I do when I invest in dividend-paying companies? I mean, think about it. In dividend investing, we love those mature, established companies. They're not the flashiest, but they consistently deliver. And it's pretty much the same in Dynasty Fantasy Football. That 28-year-old wide receiver might not be as exciting as the highly praised rookie, but he's more likely to help you win now. But wait, I hear you say, what about the growth potential? Fair point, because in investing and fantasy football, there's always the allure of finding the next Amazon or Patrick Mahomes. But here's the reality check. For every success, there are dozens of flops. Remember, the average NFL career is just 3.3 years, which is like investing in a startup. It's high risk, high reward, but often just high risk. So what's the solution? Balance and smart risk management. Just like you wouldn't put all of your money into speculative stocks that promise to make lots of money someday, don't fill your dynasty fantasy team with only rookies and draft picks. Instead, think like a dividend investor and look for those proven performers who can deliver consistent results. And when you see a quality player or dividend-paying company that's undervalued because of some short-term issues, that's your buy the dip moment. And sometimes you just have to pay up for proven quality, like I'm doing buying Visa, or you might want to do buying CD Lamb. Now, I'm not saying never take risks, but make them calculated risks. Use those rookies and draft picks that can open up a 2 to 3 year window to help you win now. You know, there's a stock market saying I like that says it's not about being right, it's about making money. So do you want the youngest, sexiest team on paper, or do you want to win championships? I mean, after all, isn't winning the whole point? So here's where it gets exciting. Emotions can be your worst enemy in both investing and fantasy football. Fear keeps you from making champion moves, while greed makes you hold on to failing prospects far too long. Learn to recognize and overcome both fear and greed, and you'll be ahead of most of your league and the stock market. Nobody can predict the future, not in the stock market, not in football. So the best thing we can do is make informed decisions based on current data and proven track records. So whether you're managing your investment portfolio or your fantasy football team, remember some of these key points that have worked for me. 1. Value consistency and proven performance. 2. Don't be afraid to buy the dip on quality players. 3. Balance is key. Mix reliable veterans with those high upside young players. 4. Do not let emotions drive your decisions. And 5, focus on winning now, not in just some hypothetical future. Now, I would also highly recommend seeking expert opinions like Rich Dotson shares on the Dynasty Nerds website and podcast, or all the great analysts on seekingalpha.com, which, hey, you can save a bunch of money off an annual subscription with my affiliate link below. Shortest affiliate plug ever. But remember that the experts can't see into the future, and they're all just making educated guesses. So the only one responsible for your fantasy and investment decisions is you. And since I've applied these dividend investing principles to how I play Dynasty Fantasy Football, I've gone from perennial disappointment to regularly competing for championships. I would love to hear your investing tips and or Dynasty fantasy football tips in the comments below. And give a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video. And in this floating little box next to my head, we all love to hear what Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway bought and sold. I'm gonna break down for you in the very beginning why you gotta be careful when thinking about the 13F for and hearing what Buffett and Berkshire bought and sold. So click that floating little box and I'll tell you all about it there.